Okay, so in this program we use a string holding some letters of the alphabet, and you see that over here. So this is just a string. One by one, each letter is just going to be displayed with its ASCII code, and then it basically demonstrates how a subscript can be used to access individual characters of a string. So you see over here the subscript is pos, probably stands for position. Now this chapter is really about arrays, and technically this program does not have an array. You know, we don't see an array over here, but in the olden days strings were really arrays of individual characters. So we would have something like car 15 last name, where you would have 14 characters and one null terminator. In case you used up all 14 positions, the null terminator would be in the 15th position. If there were only 7 characters in the name, then the null terminator would be in the 8th position, and the computer there would not run past number 8 because that was the null terminator, the indicator that the string ended there. So instead of a loop to run through an array, we run a for loop the length of the string, one character at a time, and the string class has a function length that returns the length of the string. You will see functions like length or size in many programming languages, but we don't see that over here yet. Oh yeah, we do see it over here. Yeah, we have the string class, and we have a string letters, and over here we use the length proper length function of the string here. This is a function, not a property. Okay, so let's see how that works. So we have the lowercase abc, uppercase abc. We know that the numbers of the lowercase are going to be higher by about 32 compared with the uppercase, and you see that over here too. If I change this to pr8, then it runs just fine too. In fact, you see that the space has a code of 32. So going back to the code over here, we're going to split off individual characters. We call it the letter. We need to know how many characters are in the string. And over here the code is an integer, the ASCII value. This is just the little header over here, and then we just run through a normal for loop over here with num characters defined by the length of the string, and then we take the individual character, and if we want to know the ASCII code, we take that individual character, do a static cast to the integer, and we actually assign that to the code so we could print that over here. And that's probably a good point to also emphasize that we need to put things in a variable sometimes, and sometimes it's not necessary. So first let me go back to this ABC, and you see that it works just fine, and you see that the code over here has been assigned, and we use it over here. Now we're just going to take that out, and we're not making that static cast permanent, just for this line over here. And you see that the static cast over here is at a specific memory location. This is just the garbage value that's still stored there, and every time it just prints that garbage value instead of the actual ASCII character. Now we could take this over here, copy this, and then as long as it is in this line, we're going to get the proper conversion and make it part of the cout statement. And you see that it works perfectly again. But if you want to keep it separate from the cout, then you definitely need to assign it to a variable so you can use that variable over here in the output